Okay. So I think I'm going to talk to you about approaching strategies, right? That's going to be one of the biggest things too. So
as you can see, yeah.
it's all good, bro. So as far as approaching strategies, and I feel like this is something I get to talk about a lot because just the way that the game is designed, it's a very defensive game. And if somebody wants to play lame or cheesy or whatever you want to call it and just run away from you, they kind of just can. But you can still develop a strategy around that. So if somebody does run away from you, they're putting themselves in bad spots that you can actually capitalize on. Okay, so there's two things that have to happen. Number one, we have to try and play a closer neutral with more baits or more kiting, as some players call it, or footsies, whatever. And the other thing is recognizing a pattern when somebody goes into the corner. You know what? Speaking of which, I'm going to change our stage just to emphasize this a little bit more. Let me go to Hollow Bastion.
Yeah, I have the hardest time going up against a warrior or giving much with the lead, but all the advice I was given is, oh, just space them out or like just outrun them. They can't approach you. Like it's kind of hard when you're the one behind. So
yeah,
like,
and that's the thing. I feel like I don't know who gives you the advice, if you got it from a friend or another coach or maybe even that particular player. But a lot of that advice, in my opinion, is like if it's a blanket statement that says, "Oh, just don't get hit," like the classic. You know, it's like, well, thanks, tips. I didn't know that. Like, no shit. So as far as rushing somebody down or getting them into a bad spot, one of the things you want to avoid, and the reason why I went to the stage, is if you try and push me into the corner, as soon as you get to this point right here, or let's say if you're here, and I'm not absolutely at the corner, but I'm like right here, so I have like one step, right? If I'm right here, there's a couple options that you have to worry about as far as having the situation loop onto the other side, where let's say I go like this, go over here, and I do this over here. Right? And you get this figure eight sort of pattern where I just go like this over and over again, or maybe I fall through the platform, or I go like this, and I'm just doing this over and over, and you can't do anything, right? But the thing is, every single time I'm jumping, rolling, using side B, double jumping, air dodging away from you, I'm committing to something that is punishable, right? So this is where pattern recognition comes into play. As far as, let's say if you get me in the corner right here, as Falco, I'm probably going to jump, even though your jump is, I think, the third highest or second highest in the game. Falco's is the highest. Whether or not I know how high you can jump or not, Falco's going to jump. He just does. I'm going to go like this and try and get around you. Or I'm going to, let's say, just use one jump, fast fall, another jump, side B, or air dodge, something like that to try and get past you. I'm probably going to do that before I roll, or I'm going to side B in like that. One of those two things. So let me just check something as far as your frame data, because I know you don't have the best out of shield options. I know you have, like, grab is only okay, but up smash is not very fast either. Let me see. Where's character? Here he is. Greninja. I'm just looking at ultimate frame data. Have you looked at frame data before?
I have, yeah. My fastest out of shield option, apparently, to the Greninja Discord, it's jab.
What the hell? There's no way.
Yeah, real.
No, that's
jab is the...
Someone lied to you, bro. Out of shield, that's not your fastest, because that would be a frame 14 option, because jab is frame 3, and shield drop is frame 11, right? Up smash is frame 12. Oh no, sorry. Up smash is frame frame 12. That's going to be your fastest as far as I know, besides grab. I don't think you have a frame 12 grab. If you do, then it's time to drop this character, bro. I don't know. Yeah. Frame 10, bro. That's basically frame 12. So he's got a pretty rough grab. I would say either way, frame 12 or frame 10, both of those can punish my side B on your shield. So if you're in the corner, or if I'm in the corner doing something like this, right, and I see, like, let's say if I've jumped in the past and you've caught my jump with like a fair or a back air or an air, if I start side B'ing in, side B on shield on the ground is minus 19, and if I do it in the air like this, it's minus 14. Both of which you can grab or up smash, right? So we're going to talk about how to get close to somebody, but first let's just talk about the patterns in the corner, okay? So if you get me to this spot right here, you are in advantage state as far as the situation goes. Just because I can run from you, because I have a lead, doesn't mean that I want to necessarily be here or that I can win from this spot, right? Because if you hit me once, I'm off stage, versus if I hit you, you go across the stage, right? So if you have me here, let's say I have, realistically, I'll say I have lots of options, but the three main options that you have to worry about is someone going in on the ground, going above you, or trying to actually fight you from the corner, right? If I'm a character that has decent speed or decent, agility in the air, right? As far as my aerial drift, let's say I jump super high, I have multiple jumps, whatever it is, very strong chance that I'm going to try and go around you, right? If you have me in this spot right here, I'm probably going to try and jump, like I said before. So if you get me here, try and start calling out jumps, right? So if you have me dashing back and forth, let's say I shield, you hit my shield once with like a forward tilt or like a run a down tilt. As soon as you do that, if it's spaced well, I'm probably going to try and jump past you. That's what I naturally want to do. So you can go for a down tilt into like a jump nair, jump fair, jump back air, something, right? And here, you're not necessarily trying to get a combo or even a kill. You're mostly trying to stop me from using my or abusing my agility or abusing my gimmick as far as running away from you, right? The way I like to think of it, I don't know if you ever owned a cat or a dog or anything like that, but when you're training them, sometimes like with a cat at least, you'll spray water in their face if they're being bad. It's kind of the same situation as that, where it's like if you and your Greninja as well. So if you actually hit me with something as far as slapping me off stage, it's not going to get you a kill, but it's basically trying to condition me to stop doing what I'm doing. Right? So if I jump and hit with a nair or a fair and I get hit off stage, like, okay, well, I'm not jumping anymore because every time I jump, I get caught, right? As soon as you start to do this a little bit more as far as establishing a pattern, let's say if you hit me off stage, somehow I get back on stage, I go over here because I haven't learned, and as soon as I go over here, this is the same situation but mirrored, okay? So now, same thing again, you hit my shield and I jump and you happen to catch me. I can only do this so many times until I switch up my plan. If I jump and keep on getting hit by nair, back air, or fair over and over again, I'm probably going to die or lose my lead, right? Which means I now have to either start dashing in, going for like a shorter hop or a short hop, then going in on the ground, or trying to fight you, right? So if you jump and go for a back air and I run underneath you, now you can start to bait that, right? You can go for like an empty hop, then dash back, go for an F smash. Empty hop, dash back, go for a pivot grab. Empty hop, dash back, go for a forward tilt, right? Some of your quicker moves as far as forward tilt just to get me off stage. If you're trying to get... if you're trying to make a comeback, you're probably not going to get a ridiculous combo, especially if I'm also at high percent. Let's say if I have a stock lead on you as well, right? If all you can do is kind of just slap me around and not really get any confirms because I'm like 170% like I was on the last stock, you want to try and get me in spots where you can hit me with something as a singular move and I just die. Fair is probably going to be your go-to. Fair or F smash, right? So if you have a move as good as fair, because in my opinion, fair is super good. It is disjointed, it has decent range. It's ridiculously strong too for what it is. Like your fair is about as strong as my back air and it faces forwards, right? Your forward throw also kills too. I noticed that you didn't really grab me in the corner. It doesn't kill until like later, like probably like 140, 150, but still.
Yeah, like run 70. Yeah, roughly. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I'm up.
Oh, for your character?
Yeah, my character's light as hell too.
Oh, then never mind. More like 141. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it's definitely not. It's a kill throw, kind of, but not. Like, I wouldn't rely on that. So, like, you get someone to, like, 110 and you just grab them and they just die, right? But if I am abusing my shield in the corner, instead of running up and going for a forward tilt, for example, then trying to catch my jump, you can honestly just run up and go for a grab, especially if you've conditioned me to believe that as soon as you hit me once, you're going to jump. So I'm waiting for you to hit my shield. I'm waiting for you to hit my shield, so then as soon as you hit my shield, if you're going to jump, I'm going to run it underneath, or I'm going to wait for something to happen and stay in shield, right? So what I'd like for you to do in that situation, if you have me at those high percents, start going for more grabs, right? I know your grab is not super fast, but if you abandon the grab, I'm going to abuse shield, right?
Okay.
So that's...
I have a hard time distinguishing...
Oh, go ahead.
I was just say like I have a hard time deciding. I think this is where like the part where I like the concept of taking notes like throughout the match, where I can't decide whether I want to go for shield pressure with spaced fair, spaced tilts, or go for a grab just to push them off stage. So I guess this is where you were talking about like recognizing what they try to do when they try to escape with that stock lead and try to play with that. So I guess it just really depends on how well I'm taking those notes and applying it. That makes sense.
Yeah, if you really pay attention to how somebody wants to get out of the corner, you have to adapt basically instantly. If you think to yourself, okay, he wants to shield then jump, I'm going to try and make that the pattern that happens over and over and over again. So every single time he shields and then jumps, shields and then jumps, and I'm going to try and catch the jump every single time. If I see that you've caught my jump once, I'm going to shield, and as soon as you jump, I'm not going to jump anymore. Right? I'm going to try and switch it up. Yeah. So what you've planted in my head is basically the ability to sequence on my shield, right? So hold shield for a second. So if you've ever seen someone do something like this, it's probably not going to be like a Falco thing, but like multiple tilts or multiple jabs on shields, more of like Greninja can even do it with down tilt, honestly, because it's pretty quick. Like down tilting over and over again, but not actually grabbing. If someone's just staying in shield and letting you do that, you should be abandoning your down tilt and going for a grab. right? If you can get like down tilt, down tilt, down tilt, and I don't try and punish you, I don't roll, I don't jump, I don't do anything. I just try and just let you do it, and then eventually I jump away, or eventually I roll away. If you could do 3 down tilts on my shield, that means you could have done down tilt into grab, right? So if I'm scared, because here's the thing, I don't want to get hit by down tilt, like down tilt fair, down tilt up smash, down tilt into literally anything, right? I'd rather wait for you to go for something else, as far as like, let's say you go down tilt, dash away, and then try and catch something, or down tilt, let's say if you can't kill me with the throw, I'd rather be thrown than hit by something else. Also, let's say if you're doing down tilts on shield, so do a down tilt, if I go like this and roll behind you, if I do something like that, I probably wouldn't try to do 2 rolls, but like, let's say I go like this, right? And try and get behind you. If something like that happens, you can even go down tilt on my shield, turn around to F smash, right?
Oh, okay.
So you're sequencing on shield to say, I know that, or whatever my habit is, and this is where it starts to get very cloudy for a lot of players, because it's like, okay, well, if somebody can do anything, how do I know what they're going to do? It's like, well, let that player tell you what they're going to do. Right? Let them show you that once you hit my shield, I'm going to spot dodge, or once you hit my shield, I'm going to roll back, or I'm going to roll in, or I'm going to jump, or something. Once you see whatever that is, you kind of have to believe and just go with the fact that that's what they're going to continue to do. So let's say if you hit my shield and then I roll behind you like this, if that works and you didn't F smash or pivot grab or turn around with a forward tilt or back air or something, I'm going to do that forever. Especially if I can do that into a down tilt because you're still down tilting the wrong way or something. Right? Or I'm going to do this and then like jump away from you because I'm trying to be annoying and just escape with a lead. Right? So you really have to try and pay attention to, if I jump or roll or whatever it is, I'm going to do that until it gets punished. Right? That's going to be the main consensus of how to try and break that, the cycle of someone doing like a figure 8 on stage and just doing this, running away from you. Right?
Okay.
That's going to be number 1. Number 2 that goes along with that is trying to play a close neutral, like I was saying before, as far as kiting or footsies or whatever you want to call it. But basically, I think of it a lot like football as well. I'm not sure if you're into football or even soccer or anything like that. If I'm trying to put like a double move on you, or even basketball, double move or a head fake or a crossover or something, if I do that to you from this distance away, or let's say on basketball, I'm half court away or full court distance away from you, you're not going to fall over, have your ankles broken, get styled on. I'm not going to get past you. I'm way too far away to do anything like this and have you like fall for it, right? But if I'm way closer to you, then all of a sudden that proximity changes how you react to what I'm doing, right? I'm sure you've seen players who will like run up to somebody's shield and they'll empty hop in front of them like this, and the person in the shield just stays there like this. They don't know what's going to happen, right? And then as soon as that person comes down, they get a tomahawk grab, or at the very last second, you decide to jump, and I up smash you, or I go like this, and I catch your jump, or something. But that's only going to work if I'm right up next to you. If I'm doing this over here, why would you shield? There's no reason to shield this far away, right? So what you need to do by playing a closer neutral is use your character to intimidate me, right? It doesn't matter how good you are. It's the fact that you're close to me at all. I'm going to respect the fact that I could get hit or grabbed or killed if I make a mistake in front of you. So when you're dashing around, let's say if you're dashing in front of me, if I try and go for a grab and I miss that grab and I'm wide open, right? That's a free dash attack, it's a free F smash, free short hop fair, right? Coming down like this, something, right? But if I miss a grab like this far away and you just run across the entire stage and try and hit me, it's way too late, right? So what I want you to try and do is focus on playing as close to me as you possibly can, and also paying attention to how when I fight you, I will do things like run up to you and then go for like a jump back like this. I'll jump in front of you, I'll dash up to you, then start walking like this. I'll go like this into walk up, then walk back and go for a grab or something, right? But I'm not going to just close the gap and approach and go for a grab immediately. Sometimes I will, but more often than not, I don't believe that's going to work, right? Just like how you shouldn't just run across the entire stage and go for a dash attack. If you just go like this and it works, then your opponent really probably wasn't paying attention, or they don't believe that that's something you're going to go for, right? You're better off using those double moves as far as getting close to somebody, going like this, right? Even if you throw in a waveland, which kind of seems corny, but people fall for that shit, right? They need to see some sort of movement to get the opponent, or they need to see some sort of movement to respect the fact that you're trying to do something, right? So if you do that movement, let's say if you're dashing in and out, if you see someone spot dodge because you ran at them and they think you're going to down tilt them or go for a grab, as soon as they throw that spot dodge, you dash back in and you get what you want to get, right?
Okay.
All right.
So you're also taking note as far as like when you're, I guess, crossing them up, just moving on them, and you're seeing what they do. Okay.
Always. I would never. Yeah. Well, here's the thing that's like probably the biggest takeaway is remember you're fighting a human, right? So the fact that you can fight someone and let's say they have They have a plethora of different emotions they can feel at any time. They can feel overly confident. They can feel scared. They can feel indecisive, right? They can hesitate. They can make human error. They can make mistakes. They can F smash backwards. They can up tilt the wrong way. They can full hop when they meant to short hop, right? All kinds of things can happen as well. So since you're fighting someone who's not going to perfectly counter everything that you do, there's also going to be a certain threshold of patterns that they're going to just throw out because naturally a human can only comprehend so many things at once. Right, I'm not going to have 100 mix-ups. I'm going to have 4 or 5.